Before we get started, no, happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. The fans and you all, so thank you. Go ahead.
Coach, before the game, we talked about the challenge of a back-to-back 6 games in 9 days, facing the defending champs. Just how your group responded to that challenge, especially down the stretch, considering all those factors.
First of all, the fans were incredible. From beginning to the end, they stayed with us. They cheered for. I mean, it was incredible in there. But our guys' resiliency and toughness to go down, and they made a bunch of runs, and we knew it was going to be this type of game. But that's what the growth of this team is turning into, the belief system of knowing what we're capable of doing in big games.
Coach, first of all, congratulations on the huge statement victory tonight. You talked prior to tip-off about the second unit maintaining the flow of the game. You got great contributions off the bench from everybody, but really talk about Joe Ingles' poise and really what he brought to the table tonight.
He brings that poise. He brings that maturity. He settles things down. He's willing to make the physical play. He makes the right pass, gets guys in the right position on the floor. He's coaching on the floor. I think it's so great to have him that he settles so many things down for us while we're out there, and he allows that second unit to really be themselves and thrive in the way they are.
Coach, Franz offensively tonight was amazing. What have you seen as far as his growth in the leadership side of things, maybe on and off the court?
All of that. I think his ability to see and communicate the things that he sees, that's not easy for a lot of people to do, because he sees the game a little bit differently because of his IQ, but in the way he's able to communicate it with his teammates is very special. And then at the end, I mean, he had 24 points in the second half. I think they challenged him, and he stepped up, and he made big play after big play.
Goga didn't have his first foul until 5:49 left in the fourth quarter. You talk about defending without fouling. Yeah. What did you think of his performance tonight, especially against Jokic, and for him to hit those free throws late?
I think it's by committee. I think Goga did a fantastic job. Obviously Joker is so difficult to guard. I mean, he makes some of the toughest shots. He gets his own rebound, goes back up. We got 3 guys flying in there trying to rebound with him, and he still comes away with it. But again, I can't say enough how proud I am of this group, how hard they worked, and how they continue to believe in what they're capable of doing on a regular basis.
You mentioned the leadership that you saw from Franz late, but it really felt like it was everyone that had a hand in it. That last group, none of the veterans are kind of with that group, or none of the kind of older veterans are with that group. What does it say, or what did you see from the team to be able to kind of figure things out and find ways to get stops and get those shots to close out a game like this?
Philip, I'm glad you said that. This is their team. I think that's what we've talked about from the beginning of the year. This is their team. When you start to take ownership of your defense and your identity, when you start to not care who gets what shot, when, where, that's the ownership that this team has. And they all embrace it. I don't know if you saw down the stretch, but Franz had just scored 2 or 3 times in a row. The next time down, he called a play for Paolo because he saw something. That is big, and that's leadership, and that's not caring who gets the credit, because in the win, everybody thrives.
Jamal, you talked about before the game about how you were going to guard Joker.
Yeah.
You also talked about it's their team, it's a group of work. It seemed like every time a ball got into the paint, it was a swarm of players swatting, scraping, everyone going after the ball. Can you talk about that? Because you had a lot of stops, a lot of loose balls after that kind of play.
In the second half. I think in the first half we didn't do as great a job as we could have done with defending without fouling. We swiped down a little too many times. We gave them a couple baskets at the end of shot clocks where we bailed them out. But in the second half we did a very good job of just making sure that he saw bodies, that shots were difficult. Now he's still going to get the points that he's capable of getting, and he's going to hit some tough ones. But I think we kept our resolve about us to make sure that they were all difficult, but we finished possessions way better in that fourth quarter.
Coach, Nuggets played a near flawless game, right? Nikola Jokic had a 30-point triple-double. Michael Porter Jr., shot the ball really well. They shot 43% from 3. They had 17 offensive rebounds. Can you talk about how this Orlando Magic team overcame the Nuggets and some of those things tonight?
The trust and the belief that these guys have in one another. You know, it can easily go one way, you know, with the stats that you just rolled off. But I think the way in which our fans were behind us, the way in which our guys communicated and believed in what they were capable of doing in each moment. I mean, Cole Anthony comes off the bench and gives you 20. I think that's big. In whatever moment these guys are asked to do something, they do it, and they step up, and they support each other. And I'm going to keep going back to it. Our identity is that we're a defensive team that strives for pushing each other to be better every night.
Okay. Hi, Coach. This is from China Migu, and congratulations on today's win.
Thank you.
And thanks. And so I want to ask, this must add confidence to the team today's win. So what's the goal for this in-season tournaments? Do you have any change for the goals?
I think it's just going to continue to grow and get better. I think every single day that we practice, we get better. Every game we come out, we find a way to grow and get better. And I think each guy is seeing that, and we're feeling that from what the maturity level that these guys are showing with their communication and just their belief system and what we're capable of doing. Thank you.
Back-to-back games, the team comes out strong in the second half. We know that that's been a struggle for the team of late, but how much growth has it shown, even really the last 3 games going back to the Indiana game, how much better this team has played and focus coming out of the locker room?
I think as coaches, it shows that, you know, they're listening. They understand that we've been in this situation before. I think the last time we talked about it, it was, you know, it was the first game was the Lakers-Clippers. You go back to that, what happened in that game? Then you come back and you have the, you know, the Brooklyn-Chicago. What do you do in that situation? So you have things to reflect on. And so we're able to pull from that, and these guys remember the feeling, and then once you can feel that, you know exactly how you have to respond. Thank you, Coach Mose. Thank you, guys.
Paolo, you know, you guys had 6 games in 9 nights, back-to-back, going up against the defending champs. That's no easy task. Just how your group responded to that challenge, especially down the stretch tonight.
Yeah, I think it was just a mindset that we had to have going into the game. You know, Coach walked in the locker room before the game and, you know, just told us to be greedy. You know, don't get satisfied with the win last night. You know, come in tonight and with the same energy, same mentality, and you know, just go hard and you know, try and get the win, and that's what we did.
Cole, there have been some solid crowds so far this season at home, but did this one feel different, especially after Suggs and Jokic got into it?
After what?
Suggs and Jokic had a little extracurricular, I guess.
Yeah, I don't really know what that was, but shout out to Jay. Always love the intensity. Yeah, no, the crowd was definitely into it. You know, it's been dope this year because I was just saying to P in the locker room, I don't think I've seen any games where we're seeing more fans of the other team in here so far. And that's something that we definitely notice, and we appreciate that for real.
Fact.
Paolo, after one of the and ones late in the fourth quarter, you guys got into a huddle really late in the game. What was said in that huddle to maybe, you know, get the win out late in the game?
Whose and one was it?
Boogie,
I think it was your and one.
I feel like it was Boogie.
Was it front? I don't remember. I'm trying to think back to what huddle.
We had a few huddles, but it was
we huddle every time, so I'm like,
it was like stay the course.
Yeah, we was just telling each other, man, like stay solid. You know, obviously we went up 3 or 4 points, and we knew it was gonna be Jokic down the stretch, so we didn't want to you know, give up any easy looks, especially from the 3. And so that was kind of the main focus, was taking the 3-point line away and, you know, just making it tough on Jokic. Obviously, he can get kind of wherever he wants, but you just want to make it challenging and, you know, put up a fight.
Hey, shout out to Goga. He did a great job guarding him. I meant to show him some love last
Goga been
last
balling, dog. We ain't shout him out last night.
Got to give Goga some love.
Dog.
Paolo, just kind of building off of that, Coach said here that you guys have really taken ownership of this team, and that was one of the big things that you showed during the stretch run to close this game out. How empowered do you guys feel to kind of solve problems and figure things out? You mentioned that you guys huddle a lot to kind of calm each other down, but what is that process like in the heat of the moment to have the confidence to close a game out like this?
Yeah, I think, like you said, just ownership. You know, we want to be a great team. You know, the coaches can only do so much, and so we got to step up as players. Hold each other feet to the fire, hold each other accountable, and but also, you know, be the calming voice for each other. You know, we can't let each other get flustered out there. So if someone makes a mistake or or someone is whatever starting to spiral, we got to be able to bring each other back in and just come together as a group.
Paolo, earlier you mentioned how Jokic can kind of stretch the floor and be anywhere. When he comes down doing that point center thing, what's kind of the mentality of the team defensively when you see him coming down to do that? What adjustments do you make, if any?
Yeah, I think just, like I said, he's going to get wherever he wants. And we were all telling each other, don't swipe down, just show hands and try and make him score over the top, even though, if he scores as 2 points. We don't want to overhelp or, overreact and then give up a three to Porter or Caldwell Pope. So that was kind of our mentality, especially when we got up 3-4 points. We're like, look, if he's going to kill us with 2-pointers, we can live right now. We just don't want to give up the threes.
Paolo, 4 or 5 from beyond the arc tonight. You're now shooting 42% from 3 on the season. It makes the defense respect you a little bit more from downtown, gives you more room to operate going to the bucket. Can you talk about your growth from the three-point line and just how that opens up your game for you?
Yeah, I think just one of the things I just honed in on over the summer, obviously I think, a lot of teams' plans is to go under, let me shoot, and whatever it is, stop me from getting to the rim. So my whole thing is just making them pay. I've always been a good shooter. And so just believing in it and then taking the right ones too, the ones that are in rhythm, the ones that feel good. And when I do take them, shooting it with confidence. There's no wavering. Every shot I shoot, I think is going in. So that's just the mentality, and I've been shooting it well. So
we saw just either of you. We saw Jalen and Goga hit some clutch free throws there down toward the end of the game there to seal it. Just what does it say about those guys to kind of step up in those moments to hit those shots?
Those were big free throws. Shout out to them. I was really calm and composed of them. Yeah, we've been working on our free throws as a unit. I think we had some struggles earlier in the season, and I'm glad that we got that together. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
Cole, the second unit came in, or especially early in the fourth quarter, really kind of brought the team back into the game. The second unit's been solid all season, but how important has it been to kind of have that energy coming off the bench?
Yeah, man, I think we got a second unit where we have 5 dudes who can probably start on a different NBA team, but we've all kind of bought in, and I think we've done a great job of kind of playing for each other, and I think that's what really kind of got us back into that game in that start of that fourth quarter. I think we were down 6 going into the fourth quarter. We might have got down 9, but then we stayed the course. We got in that paint, and we might have had some looks in the paint, but we made that one extra pass and got some. I think we got like 3 straight threes, which got us back into that game. I think Mo hit one, I think Joe hit one, and I think Gary hit one, and those were just it was all just that trust factor, and that was really big, and I think that was a turning point in the game, because I think at that point I think we might have got up a couple points, and I don't think they might have got up 1, I think, at the end of the game when it was 113-112, but that kind of got us that lead, and I think we did a great job of keeping it, maintaining.
Thanks, guys. All right, we'll be back with Franz.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Hey, Jordan. That's fine. No, that's good.
On second night of a back-to-back, 6 games in 9 nights, going against the defending champs, all that makes for a difficult task. Just talk about your guys' ability to step up to that tonight and close this one out with a win.
Yeah, I think it's just our energy level, our effort each night. It's been really good these last couple games, so we gotta make sure we keep that up. Enjoy the holiday tomorrow, but keep building on what we've been doing.
Franz, congratulations on the win tonight. 24 points for you in the second half. You kind of struggled there in that first, though, but what clicked for you?
I just tried to make the right play. I was probably overthinking it a little bit. But at the end of the day, I tried to come out aggressive, still make the right play. Was able to get a rhythm in that third quarter, and at the end of the day, I think another great team win. Everybody contributing. The bench playing great again, so we're gonna need that on Friday as well.
Coach mentioned that you guys have really taken ownership of this team, and you could see that a few times with how you guys huddled and certainly how you guys closed the game. Does it feel like there's a different confidence or that you get from each other in these late game situations? And what was kind of the feeling in this one?
Yeah, for sure. I think that's one of the main things this year for us. When we walk into the building, that we have a belief about ourselves that we not just that we're competing that night, but that we're winning the game. And I think ownership is a huge part of that, making sure that we're always engaged. And the coaches always tell us we're out there, we're feeling stuff that maybe they can't see. So I think those huddle ups, especially when stuff isn't going great for us, is really key.
Franz, you guys have been together as a group for a couple seasons now. What have you guys been able to develop to be able to do this on the second night of a back-to-back against the defending champs?
I think we just, we've been through a lot at least in the last 2 years that I've been here, a lot of lessons. But throughout the time, we had a great vibe in the gym, and just everybody likes each other. It's as simple as that. We have great chemistry, not just on the court, but I think off the court. I think to be a really good team, that's one of the main things that we got to have. And it's a lot more fun playing like that when you like the guys that you're out there with.
Franz, congrats on the win. What exactly did Coach tell you at halftime? I mean, you came out in the second half, scored the first 6 points. You could tell Coach Mose was on the sideline, kind of fist pumping and excited that you were going to the cup. Anything exactly at halftime that he just told you to?
No, sometimes that's how the game goes. Like I just said, I thought I was overthinking it a little bit, but I don't want to come out and just jack away shots just to get points or whatever. At the end of the day, we want to win as a group, and I gotta make the right play. I thought I did a solid job in the first half, honestly, but sometimes the ball doesn't go in, and you just gotta stay aggressive and keep going.
Franz, you seem to have your way with Joker on a couple of those drives there. One where you almost had him turned around. Did you kind of study his tendencies inside the paint?
I just tried to read him a little bit. He gave me my left hand, and once I get in that lane, it's really just reading and reacting. Big guys, it's always harder for them to stop when they're already going in one direction. So that's something I work on in my workouts. Changing pace, stuff like that. I'm still getting better at that, but yeah.
Franz, it looks like down the stretch, you guys are so composed with how you attack. It seems like you guys were hunting the matchups, in particular when they were switching automatically, getting Gordon off of you when you set a ball screen, that it put you guys in an advantageous position to score. Whether it was you getting to the rim because you had a defender that you could attack better, or when Paolo hit that 3 that came in, you got the switch. Gordon was on the opposite block, but you knew he was going to load to you to help, and that created the space for Paolo to catch that and get a clean look. Was that something, a read that you guys made in game, realizing that they were automatically switching and not getting skinny and getting over the top, or was that something that you guys discussed maybe at halftime or during the timeout, that's what that's the kind of matchups you need to attack?
That's definitely a thing at the end of the games, that you're trying to get certain matchups or go away from certain matchups. Like you said, Aaron Gordon is a great defender. Probably not the best to just go one-on-one against him at the end of the game. But a lot of the teams, go to their switching package towards the end of the game. So that's not necessarily something that's particular to Denver. But yeah, we try to have a plan at the end of the game and not just, free flow. And I think we did a really good job. That's honestly one of the biggest things we've been getting better at when you compare us to last year, where we're in a lot of these situations and then couldn't close out games.
Thank you, Franz.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.